informational sessions, networking, and learning just how to be successful in this real estate industry, dealing with all the changes that we're going through. So today, I want to come back strong and share some good information with you and really just have sort of a discussion on what's going on in real estate. Is this a good time to buy or sell real estate? So I know we're hearing a lot these days with the economy, with the shutdown and fear mongering and things like that. And like I tell my clients most at any time, when it comes to real estate, it really depends on your personal situation. You shouldn't let your situation or your decisions be dictated by anyone else's. A lot of times we have things and we want to do them in life, and we share those ideas and goals with people, and they may mean well, but people are all can only deal with their experiences and what they have gone through and what their thoughts are. But I really always encourage people to really sit down, look at your situation for whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it is buying a home, whether it's starting a business, whatever the goals are that you have in life. So I always encourage everybody to look at your personal situation, evaluate it, get the information, get prepared, do your research and things like that. But I did want to just come on and share some things to think about when you are um, wanting to purchase a home, sell a home, make a change in life, in real estate wise. So, is it a good time to buy? Again, like I said, it really just depends on your situation, your financial situation. Have you gone through and evaluated your finances? Have you evaluated your savings? Have you asked yourself some questions about why you want to buy or sell? What am I thinking? What do I want to do? What are my goals? How long do I plan to stay in my home? Have you looked at what the interest rates are? Have you looked at the overall purchase process, what you need to have saved? All of those are things and questions that you want to consider before you make that decision on what to do, what's the best thing for you to do. Have you looked at your budget? What are my expenses at this point in time? What will it cost if I buy this house? Not just the upfront cost. What do you have to get started? When you're buying a house, especially in North Carolina, and I'm really just focusing on North Carolina because obviously that's where I am. But we have not only earnest money, but we have due diligence money that is non-refundable that you will have to pay to the seller to have them to take their house off the market. So before we go a little bit further, I did want to just say that there is activity. Real estate is still going. I took a look at the MLS before I jumped on here. Just as of today, there were 77 new listings in the Triangle MLS. And then there were 70 sold listings in the Triangle MLS that all hit today. There have been 170 price changes. So you may have noticed that the days on the market are getting a little bit, staying a little bit longer. Prices are being adjusted, but don't think, I hear people talk about, I'm waiting for the market to crash. And no, don't necessarily think that the market is going to crash, but there are adjustments. You have to realize that in 2020, 2021, even 2022, we were having abnormal sales. Prices were really, really high. The market was not as many listings. People were looking at homes or buying homes sight unseen, paying cash significantly over the list price. And that just is not the reality of where we are. So for my sellers, want you all to take into consideration that it's not a crash, but there are adjustments. We're getting back to reality. So just because your neighbor sold their home for 50,000 above list and um, had multiple offers and cash offers and sight unseen offers, that's not the reality of the market that we're living in now. So you definitely have to be strategic in how you present your home. You want to make sure that if you're, and it depends on your goals, because sometimes not everybody, some people just want to get out. So if your goal is just to get out, it might be different for you. But if you are looking to get top dollar for your home, you need to talk with a real estate professional get the market analysis, go back through and look at what your competition looks like. How are those homes prepared? What updates do they have? What have they had? What have they done? Have they updated their kitchen, their bathrooms, new roofs, new HVAC? Take a look at all of that and then compare your home to it. And again, if you're looking to get top dollar, you want to make sure that you have maintained your home. Talk with your real estate professional, me, about what are those things that are most impactful for getting top dollar for your home. You want to make sure that you have cleaned and decluttered and depersonalized, done some light staging or full staging, depending on the home. Don't just move everything out and leave a blank slate, because you do have to make that very good first impression, both curb appeal and inside your home. So that's what our sellers are going to be looking at, and just being realistic with your pricing based on what else is out there. I know that we love our homes. We've made memories there. We've put in whatever we've done to invest in our homes and make it the best that we can make it. But that does not determine the price and what somebody else's value is. I had a listing consult with someone a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, and she really wanted to list her home for $100,000 above what the home right next door to her was listed for, and selling for two homes on her street. And I had to say, that's not the reality. Would you pay out of pocket? Because even if someone did make you that offer, it's not going to appraise. So, would you, if it was you, pay out of pocket that difference? And she said she would, but reality wise, she probably wouldn't. So, and most people aren't going to. So, we have to, look at all of that information. Let's see what else. If you're selling, like I said, price competitively, make sure it's move in ready if that's your goal to get top dollar for your home. And, make sure you're working with a strategic real estate professional like me. And so before you get ready to do that, why are you moving? Are you moving? I had people during the pandemic that were like, "Oh yeah, I can just sell my house and move and get a lot of money for it." But then you also have to think about where you're going. What are you going to do? Will you be able to afford the next home? And there are good reasons for moving. Life changes. Maybe you need to upsize. Maybe you need to downsize. But just think about it and think strategically before you decide to move. Um, let's see what else for my buyers. This is a great time for buyers. I hear people saying all the time that they're going to wait again, not just for the market to crash, but also for interest rates to go down. And when interest rates go down, the prices are going to go up. So look at again your financial situation, what you have saved, what you can afford, what strategies are there, because sellers are now offering builders and resale sellers are offering assistance to help you buy down that interest rate, even if it's just a 2-1 buy down, but that will give you the opportunity to take advantage of houses being on the market a little bit longer, prices being corrected or adjusted, not a crash, but corrected or adjusted, and flexibility with sellers being a little bit more amenable to doing repairs and doing things to get their home sold. So if the seller is offering a buy down or closing cost, or even if they aren't, you can ask for closing costs to help you get that interest rate reduced to get the price where the monthly payments and the price where you need it to be. So buyers and sellers, I would say whatever your goal is, wherever you are, investors as well, just get the information, talk with someone, be strategic and realistic in your goals, and sit down and think about what you really want to, what your goals are and how you want to handle them. So is it a good time to buy and sell real estate? It's always a good time to buy and sell real estate if you're ready. So if you just have questions, I always think back to when I was buying before I bought my first home. My dad was like, "You need to buy a house," and I was like, "I can't buy a house. had all the credit cards and all the debt and did all of these things wrong as a college student and young professional. But because I had someone to ask, to tell me I should do that, then I went and got educated and informed. And lo and behold, I was able to buy my very first home at 25 or 27, I can't remember. But early on in life, I was able to buy my first home because I did it. And I can't tell you the number of clients who have thought that it would be impossible for them to buy the home. And they reached out. They thought that they had to have an 800 credit score. They thought that they had to have 20% down. That what all of these myths that we hear, or that it wasn't a good time to buy, they should keep renting and things like that. And then when we had the conversation and we talked about the process and we got started, whether it was down payment assistance, whatever it is that they needed, we talked through the process, found it, got their house, and they just, it was a lot easier. So again, I, highly recommend getting in touch with me, and just finding out where you are in the process. What are your goals? Is this a good time for you? Are you positioned correctly to, or confidently to buy, sell? Is this the time for you to upgrade? What, or downsize, or whatever it is that you want to do? So that's what I have for Make Your Move Monday today. I look forward to hearing from you, to talking about your specific situation. Don't let the headlines dictate that it's not the right time for you to buy. I know people that have been waiting for years and years and years and years, and you've seen probably the post on social media that says the people that bought and didn't buy in 2020 wish they had bought, or yeah, wish they had bought, and the people that don't buy now in 2030 are going to wish they had bought in 2025, because again, the best time to buy or sell or invest in real estate is when you are ready, and you need to talk to someone who can let you know, a professional who can let you know and help guide you through the situation, a team of professionals that can guide you through your situation and let you know if, help you walk through your details to see if you are ready. And then if not, guide you on the steps that you need to do to get ready. So that's it. I do have a few announcements I want to make, for my fellow real estate professionals. The Triangle Wealthy Group is hosting our second think tank for the year. It will be on Thursday, November 6th. We're just wanting to strategize, work well together, come bring your issues, your solutions, and let's talk about the different things that we need to do in this market to be ready to serve our clients best. The rest of this year, beginning in 2026, we should all have our real estate goals and our plans. And so that's what we're going to talk about on the think tank on November 6th. You can register for that at twgpresents.com. We also will be hosting our last two consumer events for 2025 on Saturday, November 8th and Saturday, December 13th. We're going to be doing our follow-up to our Juneteenth event, which was investing in a multifamily commercial. So we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of it. We'll have guest speakers and sponsors, but break down the details both in November and December. So those are also available for registration at twgpresents.com. There is a nominal fee for both of those. I think the early bird has actually ended for the November event, but the nominal investment in yourself is well worth it. And there is still an early bird for December. Both of those are going to be at New American Funding on Emperor Boulevard in Durham. Our think tank is going to be at Self Help Credit Union on Harps Mill in Raleigh. We will be providing breakfast and lunch for the think tank for that on that day. And I also have a listing that my seller has done a price improvement at 517 Woodwinds. It's an in-unit townhome. The heavy lifting has been done, has new roof, new gutters, new interior paint, updated bathroom, new flooring, new decks. I'm sure I missed new exterior paint, just so many things. And like I said, the seller has adjusted the price to $320,000 and is also offering $10,000 of seller paid closing costs. So with that seller paid closing cost, that gives you the opportunity to buy down your interest rate. Had a live on Saturday before last, and the lender was sharing that the interest rate, if you use that money, and you wouldn't even have to use all of it, but if you use that, you could buy your interest rate down, and your first year payment, I think, was going to be close to $400 or 400 more than $400 less for the first year, and then about $300 lower for that second year. And then that gives you time to, hopefully the interest rates will level out or go down a little bit and you can refinance, but gives you an opportunity to get into your home before the end of the year. Take advantage of that seller paid closing costs, get your interest rate down, um, and get into your home before the end of the year. And there are a lot of great deals out there like that. If you're interested in new construction, home builders are offering a lot of great incentives. They're also paying buyer agent compensation, and my seller is also paying buyer agent compensation. So make sure that you reach out to me and get your questions answered. Let's just talk about what your situation is. Don't panic, and be strategic in your planning. So happy Make Your Move Monday. Welcome to fall. We are here, y'all. So stay warm, stay safe, get your plans together, and think about things before we get into this holiday seasons. A lot of time I'll tell my clients, if you know you want to buy a home, have that discussion or share that information before we go out and before you go out and get into a lot of debt, buying, presents and things like that. Talk about it. Start a fund or start your fund that this is my house buying fund. If you want to give me something, please send me the cash and donate it to my house buying fund. And you'd be surprised at the people that will support you in those goals. So happy Make Your Move Monday. We will be back again next Monday at noon to share more information on this real estate market and get your questions answered. Take care, y'all. Remember to make your move because every step counts.